And welcome to Monon Park on the campus of UMass Boston. We've got a non-conference doubleheader for you today between the 23rd ranked UMass Boston Beacons, who come in at 8-6 out of the Little East Conference, and the 10-6 Salve Regina University Seahawks, who come in at 10-6, 3-1. They are out of the Triple C. It is a beautiful day for baseball, at least to start. In case you got the memo late, well, it's impressive that you're joining us right now, but first pitch originally scheduled for 12 and 2 9-inning games. That was moved up to 11 o'clock and 2 7-inning games due to some impending rain, and we're certainly starting to feel the effects of that storm with the wind. More on that in a bit. Let's take a look at the all-time series between these two schools. UMass Boston leads the all-time series 6-5. They met for the first time 2 years ago since the beginning of the 21st century. That was also the last meeting here in Boston. It was the last meeting period in 2017. Kyle Boudrias had a big game that day. He's been hot, so we'll keep that in mind. More on him in a bit as well. Fernando Burgos was the starting pitcher for the Beacons through 5 scoreless innings. He will get the start in Game 1 again here today. Some things to know before we get into this one. The Beacons have never lost 3 in a row at Monon Park. They're currently riding a 2-game losing streak after picking up the in-conference sweep last weekend. Both these teams are coming off of recent playoff performances. Salve is a team, they're going to strike a lot of hitters out, so the Beacons will have to be patient, but not too patient at that one. And the Beacons, you can tell, it's been rough starts for them this week, so they go to the guy who they feel can stop all that in Fernando Burgos, their number 1 starter. Talked about that last home game against Salve. That was looked like a what's the machine where you just see the score go up and up and up? We'll call it skee ball. The scoreboard looked like a skee ball scoreboard, and that one just runs on top of runs. Let's take a look back at that one now.
0-2. Slider grounded right back to Burgos. Should be 2 to short for 1. A Hughie to first. It's a double play. 1-6-3, and that does it for the top of inning 1.
That throw is just up the line too far.
Regina bunts this one. Suicide squeeze. He scores the run, and he's safe at first. It's a bunt single. Hughie skies hit right field. Should be playable for Smith. Long run down the line. He slides and makes the catch. Burgos delivery, slider, got him. Wind blowing slightly in from right toward left. Fowler serves this ball high in the air to left field. Catch back, turning, looking, and it's gone! Fowler clears the monster. Beacons lead 4-0.
It's a great piece of hitting there for Fowler. Got a fastball up in the zone, up and away, and just completely went with it. Didn't break his wrist, just sent it over that monster.
This is hammered to left field. Nagel back, he looks up, and that is gone. A blast from Colton Perinian. It's a 1-run game. Loop center field, falling quickly. Virgino dives and makes the catch. Nagel sprays it left field, slicing in the gap. Catch running over. It's over his head and all the way to the wall. Boudrias and Fowler both score as senior Luke Nagel comes through again. Earl snapping to second, got him! Oh my! Here comes the 1-1, he's going from second. Fly ball, shallow right field, long run for Herzog, he's got it. Throw into second, yes sir, it's a double play. Serves to left field, long run for catch, and he won't get there. RBI single for Kyle Boudrias, now digging for second, and he's in with an RBI double to score Charlie Hughie. Fowler flares one left field, falling quickly, and that is down in front of the left fielder catch. That allows Boudrias to score. RBI single for Chris Fowler. Antoni serves it right field. At third, Brown tagging. That ball gets over the top of Zach Smith as it got up into the wind. Brown scores. Here comes Hughie. Mantoni's into second. It's a 2 RBI double for Dan Mantoni. Boudrias hammers this one into right field for a base hit. That scores Lopez. Mantoni rounds third, and he's in. It is 16-5. This hit hard by Riley to left and down for a base hit. Lionel Danielson scores. It's 17-5. RBI single for Eddie Riley. 1-2, goes for it again, and gets a call, strike three. Alex Perry hits this ball pretty deep to center field. Rogers trying to run it down. It's caught by the right fielder, Herzog, to end the ball game.
He just stayed outside all day and played with his friends. Pretend he even had a friend to say.
We'll see if we're in for something else like that today. It's certainly possible with this wind currently 23 miles an hour blowing out to right center field. Gusts expected to be as big as 35. Now the question is, once the storm moves in and starts to rain, will those winds stay? Will they pick up? Will they go away? We will have to see. Today's player to watch for the Beacons is center fielder Danny Brown. He's got 4 multi-hit games coming off a big performance on Thursday, including a 3-run home run. The .231 career hitter really turning it on here in the 2019 campaign. He has been moved up in the lineup today, hitting 7th. And he will be our player to watch for today's doubleheader between UMass Boston and Salve. Let's take a look at the opponent's batting order now for the Seahawks. The leading off the shortstop, number 10, Madden Ward. Batting second is the catcher, number 14, Dylan Ketch. Batting third, the right fielder, Zach Smith. The first baseman, Jack Betts, hits cleanup. Tristan Dacey is the designated hitter. He's batting fifth. Michael DeFusco is in left field. He hits sixth. Colton Ironman's at third base. He bats seventh. Rounding it off, eighth and ninth, center fielder, Zach Barlock. And second baseman, Dustin Cecere. Defensively for the Beacons, in the infield, first to third, Kyle Boudrias. At second base, you have Ryan Leung. The shortstop is Charlie Hughie. At third, you have Eddie Riley. And in the outfield, left to right, Ryan McCormick, Danny Brown, and Nick Herzog. Doing the catching will be Nico Kites. And the starting pitcher for the UMass Boston Beacons is Fernando Burgos. Before we talk about Burgos, here's what he had to say earlier this week. He is our Beacon Spotlight.
I wasn't really like highly recruited out of high school. I only had 2 schools like really get into like serious conversations, I guess. It'd be here and then Wentworth. But what was ultimately like the deciding factor was just kind of having someone that was already on the team kind of come talk to me. Jose Pena, actually, he came out of my high school, so it was already like a local connection because he's also a Boston kid. Definitely having a closer connection to Boston, it makes it a lot more special. Obviously, having your parents be able to go to every home game, every start. Also being able to invite your friends and family also helps a lot too. I think the expectation in like inner city, you don't really see a lot of guys get recruited or play baseball after high school. I think from the guys that I've played with, I would say maybe like 6 or 7 probably played past high school. After like my graduating class, I'm starting to notice like a couple more guys start coming into college. Know a lot of guys at New England College, Westfield, UMass Dartmouth. So I didn't really have like high expectations for myself at the beginning of the year just because I didn't really know what to expect, frankly. I wasn't highly recruited, obviously. And I felt like a couple things fell into place. Obviously, like my first appearance was out of the bullpen. I wasn't considered a starter. And one of the guys, I think somebody had like a bad start or something, so they just slotted me in, and I kind of just ran with the opportunity. For my legacy here, I just want to be, considered one of the best to ever play for the program. I know the work that I put in between my starts, in the weight room outside of the field. everybody wants to be, like an accomplished like player in any sport they want to do. And I just want to be known as like a competitive guy, someone that coach always could turn to and know that in a big spot I can get the job done.
Psychology is about understanding the individual and understanding the mind. The main reason why I want to combine psychology and business degrees is because I want to understand the business decisions that are made. I'm Nurçin Çelebi. I'm from Turkey originally. I'm a senior at the 5-year BA to MBA program at UMass Boston. I think in management, the biggest mistake you can make is to not listen. So I want to be able to step into a company and say, here's what you're doing now, and here's how you can improve it. I moved here when I was 16 for high school. Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well, and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me. I wanted to be able to improve myself. I wanted to be able to try new things, and I think UMass gave me a really good head start on that.
Welcome back to Monon Park. National anthem just finished up. So the Beacons will go through their final warm-ups. They are wearing their black jerseys with white pants. Salve blue jerseys with gray pants. We talked about the weather a little bit at the beginning. The wind during the national anthem shaking the press box. Players losing hats. Still have players losing hats out there. If anybody brought an umbrella to today's game and opens it, we're going to lose them like that guy in that video that was going nuts on Twitter this week. Gusts expected to be up to 35, but it's got to be close to that right now. As Burgos takes the mound, making his 4th start of the season. He's 2-0 with a 3.52 ERA. In 15 1/3 innings, he's allowed 7 runs, 6 earned, 12 hits, struck out 14, and walked just 6. And the way that wind's going out, it's going to help him with his movement today quite a bit. The downside is if you leave one up, that ball's going to carry. And one more run through the Seahawks lineup here. Madden Ward is the shortstop. He's leading off the catcher, Dylan Ketchin. Right field, Zach Smith. The first baseman is Zach Betts. Tristan Dacey is the designated hitter. Michael DeFusco is in left field. Colton Ironman, the third baseman. Zach Barlock is in center and batting ninth. Dustin Cecere. Today's umpires. Dan Henry will have the plate for game 1. Chris Shaughnessy is out on the bases. As the Salve pitching staff makes their way out to the bullpen. This wind is just nuts right now. I don't know if we can get a look at the center field camera just so people can see how much is being blown around. There it is. It was worse before that. We're all good in here, though. That flag straight out in right center field. And they throw down, and we get ready to go. Madden Ward will step in. Hitting .375 in 16 games. He will step in on the right side.
Leading off with the Salve Regina University Seahawks here in game number 1 of our scheduled doubleheader. This game scheduled for 7 innings. It's the shortstop, number 10, Madden Ward.
Burgos looks in. We'll start righty on righty. He kicks and fires. And that's in there for a strike. Burgos works quickly. He'll get quicker as he gets going as long as nobody gets on base. Second pitch misses for a ball. Burgos winds and fires. Popped up behind the second base bag. These are going to be tricky today. It blows and it falls. It turned Leung around. And by the time the right fielder and center fielder could get in the ball, it hit the turf. It looked like a routine pop-up, but again, nothing is going to be routine today.
The catcher, number 14,
because you have the main winds blowing out towards right center field, but you have some wind coming in off the water over the first base dugout as well that's going to fight that. And that is a base hit as nobody got to the ball. Dylan Ketch steps in, the catcher, hitting .397 in 16 games. Second to only Zach Smith. And he's trying to say that hit him. The umpire calling him back. Ball one. And that's not going to do Ketch any favors now. That strike zone just got a little bigger. Burgos sets. Kicks and delivers. Misses for ball two. After getting ahead on the first, hitter 1-0. Has thrown 3 balls and then the one that got popped up. Burgos sets. And now throws over to first. Back in time is Ward. Ward has stolen 3 bases this year. He has not yet been caught. Kicks and fires. Just missed outside as you saw Kites sort of pop out of his crouch to get to that one. 3-0. And that one off speed in there for a strike. Burgos needed that. Throw over to first. Nobody home. Burgos working on the 3-1 on catch. Allowed a pop-up single to the first hitter. This one's rocked in a right center field. It's going to hold up for Herzog. And there's one down. Well hit. He barreled it. But right to the Beacons right fielder. And with one away, Zach Smith will step in, hitting .424 in 16 games. 28 hits in 66 at-bats. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 15 runs batted in. He is yet to leave the park this year. 5 home runs for Salve, hit by a collection of 4 players. Smith is not one of them. And he takes a first pitch strike. Beacon's middle infielders playing towards the second base bag, looking for the double play. It's Boudrias holding Ward on first. Burgos looks over there. Sets. And goes back to first. They are really worried about Ward. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. And Leung lost his hat. Ryan Leung has to run out to right field to track it down. It's probably not the last time we're going to see that here today. Burgos climbs back up the hill. Kicks and delivers. Breaking pitch jammed him, and it's fouled off over to the parking garage. 1-2 the count, 1 out, runner on first. That's Ward. Smith with the open stance. Here's the pitch. Checked his swing. He went around, strike 3. I'm not sure if they say he went around or if that's a called strike. Either way, it's second out of the inning, and here comes Jack Betts. Hitting .378 on the year, making his 13th appearance, his 11th start. The freshman from Narragansett, Rhode Island, digs in on the right side, right over the plate. And they check back to first. Burgos taking his time with that runner on. Checks over again. And it's working. Ward is taking shorter and shorter leads, so not a futile effort here from Burgos. Checking back to first as frequently as he has. The pitch fouled right into the Beacons dugout. That didn't get anybody, did it? Anytime a ball goes into a dugout like that, you always cringe. Been around the game long enough, you have stories. They added the railing in front of the dugout. That was supposed to help, but encourage guys to go stand up on that railing instead of sit back in the bench. Soft grounder back to Burgos. He'll run this as far as he can before he tosses to first. And the side is retired. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. 1 man left on base for the Seahawks in the first 2 half an inning. It's Salve nothing with the Beacons coming up on the Beacon Broadcast Network. And let's take a look at the UMass Boston starting lineup. Eddie Riley will lead things off. The third baseman batting second is Kyle Boudrias. He's coming off a game in which he hit a grand slam. He's playing first. Nick Herzog's in right field hitting third. The designated hitter Anthony Cecere is batting cleanup. Ryan McCormick's in left. He's batting fifth. Batting sixth is the catcher Nico Kides. Danny Brown is in center field batting seventh. Ryan Leung, the second baseman, bats eighth. And Charlie Hughie, round things out, he is batting ninth. Defensively, for the Seahawks in the infield, first to third, Jack Betts, Dustin Segura. You have Madden Ward at shortstop. Colton Ironman's the third baseman. Left to right in the outfield, Michael DeFusco, Zach Barlock, and Zach Smith. The starting pitcher for the Seahawks is Will Ginsberg, a senior from Sharon, Massachusetts. The former Eagle is 2-0 this year with a 2.18 ERA. He's making his 7th appearance, his 3rd start. But he has thrown 2 complete games. One of these 7-inning specialists. In 20 innings, he's allowed 12 runs, but just 5 of them are earned. Allowed 24 hits, struck out 27, and walked just 7. Funny story, I actually called Will's games in high school. He was a freshman when I was a senior at Sharon High School. Good movement on his stuff. And a guy who's never wants to be taken out of a game. He's a competitor. Played at least for a bit for legendary Sharon High School coach Joel Peckham, who has since retired. Again, Ginsberg will face Riley, Boudrias, and Herzog to get things started. And we got a hat stuck in the netting. Somebody's hat flew off, and the wind just held it right up against the netting in the backstop. And it fell down in between the padding and the stands. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get that. They're going to need one of those claws, you get when you break your leg so you can get stuff off the top shelf. Here's Eddie Riley. Hitting .304. He has played in and started every game for the Beacons thus far this season. leads the team with 2 home runs. And he will get things started against the lefty, Will Ginsburg.
Leading off for the UMass Boston Beacons in the bottom of the first inning, the third baseman, number 3, Eddie Riley.
Ginsburg sets and delivers. And that's in there for a strike. The 0-1 as Ginsburg loses hat. That's skied into right center field. Has a beat on it now, heading back in center is Burlock, and he makes the catch. The last second adjustment for the first out, a loud fly out from Eddie Riley. So that will bring up Kyle Boudrias, hitting .304 with 1 home run, 9 RBIs. Boudrias with his very open stance. Ginsburg looks in, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, strike 1. The Seahawks playing Boudrias relatively straight away. Center fielder Burlock slightly shaded towards left. That may be due to the wind, though, which has shifted and is now blowing out towards left field. And now it's blown back to right. That's the kind of day we're having here today. Here's the 1-1. Another breaking pitch, jams him inside, and he fouls it off the other way. Boudrias behind 1-2. Couple breaking balls from Ginsburg. He's had good movement here early. Comes to the set. Going from the stretch, even though there's nobody on, as this is hit into shallow left field. Coming in and making the catch is DeFusco for the second out. That ball looked like it might tail out of play, but just stayed in. And here's the right fielder, Nick Herzog. Herzog hitting .340. 6 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. Paces the Beacons with 10 RBIs. If he wants one here, he's going to have to drive himself in. First pitch is a ball away. Ginsburg delivers, chomp to short. Ward has it eat him up. He got it in between hops. Herzog's thinking about second. Here's the throw in. It is not going to be in time. And the Beacons have a man on with 2 outs. Wait and see how they score this. There's going to be an error on the shortstop.
The designated hitter, number 11, Anthony Cecere.
So Cecere with a chance to do some damage with 2 outs. Leads the Beacons with a .342 average. He's driven in 9. And he fouls the first one back. Like I mentioned earlier in the inning, Ginsburg's allowed just 5 earned runs this year, but 12 total. You saw the error. Salve with a fielding percentage right around 95. This one's hitting the left. This one's going to carry, looking up. That ball is gone. Home run. 2 out home run. Anthony Cecere and the Beacons take an early 2-0 lead off the bat. It looked like the ballpark might hold it, but a little bit of aid from the wind, and Anthony Cecere with his first home run of 2019. And that also gives him a team-high 11 RBIs.
The left fielder, number 16, Ryan McCormick.
Ryan McCormick will dig in, the left fielder, hitting .255. Looks at a first pitch ball. The Beacons, even with the 2 outs in this inning, they're 2 loud outs. They're seeing Ginsburg well. They're hitting him well. Ginsburg, normally reserved as a in-conference starter for Salve. They actually skipped his turn in the rotation during the week. And they lost a conference game because of it. In order to throw him here against the Beacons, thinking about those regional rankings, knowing that there's a chance that come playoff time, these two teams are going to be trying for perhaps a home field opportunity. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4 up and away. McCormick is on. So after getting the first 2 outs on 6 pitches, Ginsburg allowed a man to reach on an error on the shortstop, then the home run and now a walk. And sometimes you see that with pitchers. 2 outs, routine ground ball to short. And then suddenly you're still out there throwing. There's a mental reset you have to go through. As Kaidi steps in, the catcher, hitting .286. A freshman from Stamford, Connecticut. Ginsburg sets and delivers outside. Ball 1. And at this point, if you're the Beacons, you just don't swing until he throws a strike. That's 5 in a row after the home run. You're going to make him put one in the zone. Ginsburg checks over to first. Lefty's got a good pickoff move. Back in time is McCormick. McCormick has stolen 4 bases this year. He's yet to be caught. Check over to first again. They got McCormick leaning the other way, but he gets back in time. The 1-0. Popped up into the triangle, falling fast. Coming in from center, though, is Burlock, and he's there in time to make the play. But the Beacons jump out to an early lead. 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error. There was 1 man left on base. Through 1 frame, it's UMass Boston 2, Salve Regina nothing. Keep it here. You're watching UMass Boston Baseball on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Back for the top of the second inning. Burgos back out on the mound, and he has some run support behind him. 2 runs off the home run from Anthony Cecere. You saw that right there before we went to break. It will be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Seahawks. Tristan Dacey, Michael DeFusco, and Colton Ironman. If anybody reaches Zach Barlock. As Dacey steps in, the left-handed hitter is hitting .326 this year. Again, in that first inning, Burgos allowed the leadoff man to reach and then more or less cruised from there. That's in their first strike. See if he can pick up where he left off. Winds and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Outside for a ball, try to get him to chase away. See how bad the wind's blowing right now as this is hit well foul. Actually, well foul, that almost came back. That was destined for the football field and came back in, almost grazed the netting.
Stay away from camera 4. It's going to be useless today. It's going to dance the entire time.
And there you hear how bad the wind is. Getting ready to abandon that center field camera. Because they're up on like some scaffolding. Whoever's out there operating that camera. I can't imagine that's fun right now because as much as the camera's shaking, I'm sure the platform is too. Get seasick out there. Here's the 2-2. Breaking pitch struck him out. Worked outside to inside for his second strikeout of the day, and Dacey heads back. That was just a filthy, filthy pitch from Burgos. Michael Del Fusco steps in, hitting .311 on the season with 7 runs driven in. Seahawks as a team hitting .320. I'm looking down the list here. See Del Fusco like halfway down on the stats page, but he's still hitting over .300. This is a team that will put the ball in play, and they do so well. The 1-0. Inside ball 2. 2-0 Beacons lead, each team with a hit. For Salve, it was a single. For the Beacons, it was a 2-run home run. Back over Burgos' glove. Coming in at second, Leung. He fields it cleanly. Fires to first. And there's 2 down. Burgos just missed that one. But his defense there to back him up. And now here's Colton Ironman. Ironman, a senior from Boca Raton, Florida. Hitting .220. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 1. So despite falling behind here in this inning, 2 up, 2 down for Burgos, he's trying to make quick work of the side. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Ironman thought about it, laid off it. They are playing him to pull. Eddie Riley almost right on the line at third. Strike 2. You have Charlie Hughie playing on the what would be the outfield grass or the green turf here, just to step out at short. The 1-2. Back to Burgos. He knocks it down with his glove, recovers, fires to first in time for the out. Fernando Burgos showing off the vertical. And through 1.5, it's UMass Boston 2, Salve nothing on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Welcome back to UMass Boston. Seth Orensky, I guess, is our unofficial sideline reporter. He's texting me in between innings. Said he heard, who was it for? Salve. Tristan Dacey, who struck out in that second inning, come back to dugout and say Burgos is the best curveball he's ever had. And Burgos apparently is seeing some of the best break he's ever had. He said his pitches are breaking in ways they normally don't. That's how much the wind is affecting this right now. It's creating new pitches as Danny Brown steps in. It will be 7, 8, and 9 for the Beacons. Brownlee, Young, and Hugie. If anybody reaches back to the top of the order, and Riley. That misses for a ball, but, I mean, you can see some of the breaks on these pitches are video game-esque today. This is what, they claimed the gyro ball was. Which, by the way, was just a circle change that broke extremely one time. As this is hit into right field toward the short porch. Will it get out? No, it's off the wall. One hopper. Already on his way to second is Danny Brown. He is in there without a throw, or a very late throw. And the Beacons have a leadoff double. Missed a home run by that much. So the Beacons, 2 hits, a home run, and a double. They're taking advantage of the strong winds as Riley Young steps in. The UMass Boston second baseman, a freshman from Brookline, Mass, right up the road. Young hitting 182. Trying to get things going in his freshman campaign. He takes ball 1. And we have another look after this pitch at that double. You can see the sun has gone down. The clouds are starting to move in. Rain was supposed to start around 2. So we should have some time. Young shows bunt charging in from first. Was Betts taking a look at that double. See if you can get a good look at exactly how much he just missed by. And one hopped at the base of the wall. The 2-0, nope. Ginsburg steps off. Again, Ginsburg from Sharon, Massachusetts. They've actually had baseball programs come on as of late. Jake Fishman, who is a couple years older than Ginsburg, played with Ginsburg. He's in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. He played for Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic. This is popped up first base side and grabbed by Betts. Looked like it was going to get out, and Betts had to reach back around to grab it, one down. So that will bring up Charlie Hugie, the shortstop. Hugie hitting 244 with an RBI chance.
Number 29, Charlie Hugie.
We'll see if they try to move Danny Brown over. Brown does have some speed. Stolen 4 bases this year, been caught once. If they can move him over, they can get Hugie home. Hugie can drive him home on a sac fly. It's not going to matter. They're going to call a balk on Ginsburg. And now pretty much any ball hit into the outfield should bring Brown home. Ginsburg delivers. And it gets away from the catcher. Brown's going to score without a throw. 3-0 Beacons. So now it's nobody on, 1 out. 1-0 count to Hugie. The pitch. Outside ball 2. Up and away, and the count now 3-0. Strike 1 gets the outside part. Hugie taking all the way. Strike 2. Sets and delivers. Lined in a right center field. That ball is going to drop, and it's going to roll. Barlock misplayed his dive, and Hughie into second. Even double on that? Yep, they do. Second double of the inning for the Beacons. And back to the top of the order with one out. Eddie Riley will step in. We'll take another look at that one. After this first pitch to Riley. Riley flew out to center all the way to the warning track in the triangle his first time up. The pitch. Low and inside, ball one. It's another look at that double by Hughie. And that's just a simple base hit if Barlock doesn't dive for it, or if he can get in front of it with his dive. Saw the wind carry that one up and away, ball two. I don't think that's where Ginsburg was trying to put that ball. And yeah, pitchers get away sometimes, but that just kept lifting up and out. 2-0 the count. Hughie takes his lead at second. The pitch. Strike one. Ginsburg sets and delivers. Inside for a ball, 3-1. Just got a piece of it. So that will fill the count up 3-2. Runner on second, that's Hughie. One out. Beacons lead 3-0. Already scored once in this inning. Ginsburg looks in, comes to the set, checks back to second. The payoff pitch. Pop towards the Beacons dugout, and that will fall. That looked off the bat like that should have gotten out. These all do, and they just keep coming back. Now the wind blowing straight across. Nope, now it's going back out to center. It was going first to third for a second there. Now I'm seeing some darker clouds coming up behind us. This will probably only get worse before it gets better, if it gets better today. Ginsburg delivers. Cracked into left center field, heading back towards the wall. It's off the wall, and it takes a bad hop for the Seahawks. One run's going to score. Is this going to be an inside the park home run? No, they're going to throw up the stop sign at third for Eddie Riley. He parked one last weekend. Came very close doing so here again. It's going to be an RBI triple, and the Beacons lead 4-0.
First baseman, number 15.
I'll bring up Kyle Boudrias with the runner on third. Still just one out. Here's the pitch. And somebody has started playing catch out in the Seahawks bullpen. Can't see the number, but there's somebody throwing out there. The 1-0. And that is hit into left field. That will get down. It will be an RBI single for Boudrias. He's thinking about two. Here's the throw to second. It is not in time. Boudrias slides in safely with an RBI double. I think we got to look back at the triple first here. If we can get that. Well, they meet with Ginsburg. I want to make sure to get this in because this ball was mashed. Look at how hard this hits the wall. As they meet with Ginsburg, this may just be buying time. It's certainly not a pitcher's day today, given the conditions, but Ginsburg has really gotten the worst of it this inning. And we have another look at that base hit. We do. It's a nice piece of hitting by Boudrias, too, to go out, get the pitch away, and just poke it to the opposite field. They were playing him to pull the ball, so he had plenty of room down that left field line and used it. And then the throw probably got there in time, but Ward not able to turn around and apply the tag quick enough to Boudrias. Dan Henry's out there trying to break this meeting up. And here's Herzog. He reached on an error and scored back in the second. And on deck is Anthony Cecere. Remember, he took Ginsburg deep to left field, his first at bat. I wonder if they'll let Ginsburg face him again. This may be the last batter for Ginsburg. Although whoever that is warming up out in right field does not look ready yet. Still playing soft toss, not really pitching, just throwing. Ginsburg looks back to second and delivers. Ball one up and in to Herzog. 5-0 Beacons. Bottom of the second. They've been giving up a lot of runs early in games. This time they're piling on. A team that looks poised to snap out of what has been a rough 2-game losing streak. They've lost these last 2 games by a combined score of 28-10, including a 20-8 loss. Their last time out, the pitch to Herzog. Ball 3. Ginsburg's just having trouble placing it right now. The 3-0. Taking all the way, strike one. So again, it's Herzog now. Cecere on deck. Already has a 2-run home run in this ballgame. The 3-1. And that's ball 4. Herzog down to first. Even with the wind blowing the ball everywhere, that's the first walk of the ball game. Somewhat surprisingly. They are going to leave Ginsburg in to face Cecere. He took him deep over the left field wall last time up. See if he can do it again. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Breaking ball. Strike one. You can hear, I don't know if I'm hearing that or if that's in my headphones, the wind blowing in the background. Oh, they may have him picked off at first. No. Herzog was well off the bag, but so was Betts. And that's the only thing that's keeping Herzog on first right now. They probably should have had him. It's a good throw. Ginsburg quickly ahead of Cecere here, 0-2. The pitch. This one's hit into right center field. Wynn's actually going to knock that one down, it looked like, off the bat. And it's caught by Smith for the second out. I don't know, it looks like he hit harder than as far as it went. Here's Ryan McCormick. Pardon me, that was not the first walk because he walked back in the first. A 4-pitch walk. He will try to get something going with 2 outs. The Beacons scored twice with 2 outs in the first inning. Already scored 3 times this inning. Ginsburg to the plate. McCormick slides out of the way of ball 1. If McCormick can get on, Nico Kaides on deck would be the 9th hitter of the inning. The Beacons would bat around after sending 6 to the plate in inning number 1. Outside ball 2. Ginsburg's got to be almost done at this point. He's struggling with his control. The wind's certainly not helping. The 2-0. Chopped foul. Two and 1, the count to McCormick. Looks back to second. There was some big piece of paper just blowing across the field. It might have been a program. Here's the 2-1. Strike two. The 2-2. Outside for a ball, and the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Beacons trying to extend a 5-0 lead. Ginsburg sets and steps off. Do it again. The lefty looks in, comes to the set. The payoff pitch to McCormick. Cracked into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Will it score a run? Coming from second is Boudrias. There will be no throw as the ball was bobbled in right field. Second run coming home. He will score a 2 RBI single for Ryan McCormick. 2 RBI single or an error in right? Error in right, so we'll get 1 RBI? 1 RBI for Boudrias. Herzog scores on the error.
The catcher, number 13, Nico Kites.
And here comes Kites as the Beacons have batted around. It's in there for a strike. Kites flew out of center field. We take another look at that play. Well, after this pitch, we'll have another look at that play in right. Bounced in for a ball. Here it is. And it's that drop right there that cost him a run. Throw over to first. And McCormick's back in time. Ginsburg sets and delivers. Curveball just misses. The 2-1. Line to second. Bad hop beats him up. It is going to be the 3rd error of the game on Endicott. Salve. You know what? I always do that. Schools on the water, similar colors, bird mascots, and I said before the game I'm going to do that at least once.
The center fielder, number 7, Danny
Here's
Brown.
Danny Brown. He doubled earlier this inning. That was his first at bat. First and second. Curveball in there for a strike. So far this inning, just to count it up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits for the Beacons. 5 runs on 5 hits. 2 errors. And that one is behind Danny Brown, so that will move the runners up to second and third. Count goes to 1-1. The 1-1. Popped him up behind the first base bag, going out in second. Now coming in from right field is Smith. The ball's going to bounce over his head, and it's going to be an RBI. Is that a double? That's an RBI double, pop-up double for Danny Brown. Makes it 9-0. They're going to roll with Ginsburg here. Ryan Leung steps in with 2 outs. He popped out to first. That was earlier this inning. And I think that was about 20 minutes ago. The pitch. In there for a strike. Another look at that double. And on any other day, this is a routine pop-up. But today is far from any other day. Watch, first baseman initially steps back. He doesn't have it. Second baseman thinks he has it. And then Smith coming in from right was the closest one to it. Lined into left field, a base hit just over the shortstop. Ward No question about that one. Going to second is Leong. He overslides the bag, and they will get him there. So that is how the inning will end. But he's going to get an RBI single for that one. And the Beacons, after 2 innings, lead it 10-0 here at Monin Park.
We want to do theater that is responsible. We want to do music that is evocative and elevates us. We want to do dance that reflects urban movement and connection. I've been a practicing designer for the last 30 years. My specialty is costumes. This space is fantastic. This is our recital hall, and it's so outstanding that many people compare it to the symphony hall because the quality of sound is like nothing in town. And there is the painting studio, the sculpture studio, the digital studio. The type of students that we're getting, they're more competitive. They're looking for this kind of facilities. They look at other private colleges, but then decide to come here. Boston is filled with regional theaters, so our students can actually apply what they're learning and build a portfolio. And it's so great to see their names on the programs, and people may not know they're from UMass Boston, but eventually as they graduate and they begin to get professional jobs and you see their bios, that's going to be UMass Boston. It's going to be the stamp all over. UMass Boston represents what true liberal arts is about. In my class, you have students who are psychologists, business, chemistry. The final goal is that we have well-rounded global citizens graduating from UMass Boston.
A nice break for Fernando Burgos there as the Beacons in that second inning had 8 runs on 7 hits. Thanks to a pair of errors, they left nobody on base.
Leading off for Salve Regina on the top of the 3rd inning, the center fielder, number 8, Zach Barlock.
Zach Barlock will lead things off. 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Barlock, Cecere, and Ward. Burgos delivers inside ball 1. Burgos gave up a hit. It was one of those fluky wind pop-ups we've seen today. Gave up a hit to the first batter he faced. That was Ward. He's retired 6 straight since with a couple of strikeouts. Only one other ball's been hit in the air. And that was the second batter. Catch flew out to right. So since then, everything's been kept in the infield. And that's what you got to do on a day like today. Keep the ball on the ground. The 2-0. Low for a ball, 3-0 now to Barlock. Here's the pitch. Ball 4, he walked him. First walk issued by Burgos.
The second baseman, number 11, Dustin Cicada.
Dustin Cicada will step in. First pitch from Burgos. Just catches the outside park. Strike 1. Needed to see that. Cecere hitting .258. Burgos delivers outside for a ball. You can see the wind again. Just push that one outside. Burgos sets. The 1-1. Grounded to second. On top of it is Leong. Throws to second for 1. They get the lead runner. An excellent grab by the freshman.
The shortstop, number 10, Madden Ward.
Here's Madden Ward, the shortstop. This one is line foul. Another look at that diving stop by Ryan Leung. Just grabbed it. Almost got up in time to turn 2. He got up from that dive pretty quickly. Might have been the most impressive part. Lined right at Leung again. He makes the catch, throws to first. It's not in time. It actually skips by Boudrias. But there to back him up is Kites, and the runner will stay at first. There are 2 down.
The catcher, number 14.
As Dylan Ketch steps in, the catcher is 0-for-1. He flew out to right. Scoots out of the way of ball 1. We take another look at another play from Ryan Leung. Sharp line drive, had to go up to get it. And I don't think the throw would have been in time anyway, even if he'd gotten it there. The pitch. Hit into center field, coming in on it now. Brown going back, steps in again, makes the catch. To retire the side, Fernando Burgos works around a leadoff walk. And after 2.5, it's UMass Boston 10, Salve nothing on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
I came from a working class family. I grew up in a hard-edged section of Lowell, Massachusetts, and I lived with my 6 siblings and my parents in a 4-bedroom house that had 1 bathroom. I knew that the only way that I was going to get to where I wanted to get to was if I got a high-quality college education, and I had the University of Massachusetts right in my hometown. It made a difference. I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I think with that comes a special responsibility as a steward, as a protector. Every student that I see that walks through the door, I see myself. I was exactly where they are now. I had their same challenges, their same aspirations, their same dreams. And it makes me want to fight for them. It makes me want to make sure that they get every opportunity that I got. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
One other defensive change for Salve Regina.
The new pitcher for the Seahawks is Tyler Hertzwig, making his 3rd appearance. Decisionless with a 3.00 ERA. He'll start off against the shortstop, Charlie Hugie, and fires it in there for a strike. Cecere moves from second to left. DeFusco moves from left to center. And now in at second base is Anthony Ciesco for the Seahawks as well. So they move things around there. So coming out of the game is Zach Burlock. Beacon scored 2 in the first and 8 in the second. Only 2 did not score, Ryan Leung and Anthony Cecere. Danny Brown scored twice as Hughie strikes out. That'll bring up Eddie Riley, the third baseman. He tripled, drove in a run, and scored in that second inning. Leung, I mentioned, did not score, but he drove a run in. And Cecere was the only man not to reach base in that second inning for the Beacons, but he had a 2-run home run in the first. So everybody in the Beacons lineup has either scored or driven in a run. Take another look. The strikeout. Outside for a ball, and count goes to 2-0. Everybody has scored, as a matter of fact, except Leung. And everybody, I believe, has driven in a run except Herzog, Kides, and Hughie. So 8 have scored, 7 have RBIs. Probably 6 have RBIs. 2-1 the count to Riley. Beacon's leadoff hitter, 1 for 1 today. Here's the pitch. Side armor delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. He's got some more pop than Ginsburg did. So the Beacons hitters will have to adjust. Game's going to speed up a bit for them. 2-2 the count. They're playing Riley straight away. Here's the pitch. Hits this one into left field, heading back towards the wall, but it will stay in. Catch is made out there by Cecere. And there are 2 down. Now stepping in is Kyle Boudrias, the first baseman. An RBI double and scored in the second. See the dance party going on in the background there. Breaking pitch comes back in for a strike. Nice movement on that one. Hertzwig, a lefty, followed Ginsburg, who was a lefty. The 0-1. Inside for a ball. Similar to the pitch before, although it didn't have that late break back in. Perhaps trying to jam Boudrias with a swing inside the hands. See that camera getting blown around out there in center as the wind picks up again. This is lined into the gap between short and third. That is going to be a base hit. Kyle Boudrias is 2 for 3, and once again, the Beacons hitting with 2 outs. So here's Nick Herzog. He has reached on an error and walked. Scored both times.
Right fielder, number 34.
Has reached on an error. He has scored on an error. First pitch. Low ball 1. Hertzwig sets, looks to first, delivers. Hit in the left field. That ball is falling fast. It will get down and hop off the wall. It dies at the scoreboard. They're going to try to score a run on this. Here comes Boudrias. The throw to the plate is offline. Up to third. Here goes Herzog. He will get in there standing. 11-0 Beacons. And RBI for Nick Herzog.
The designated hitter, number 11, Anthony Cecere.
And that means now only 2 Beacons have not driven in a run. Hughie and Kides. Here is Anthony Cecere. Hit the home run to left field in the first. This one's outside. Take another look at that wall ball play. Also on the throw in, you had what is now the 4th error of the game on Salve. This is lined back up the middle. That ball will be caught in center field. Held up for DeFusco. And that will do it for the Beacons in the third. But they do add one more on the Nick Herzog double. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error. There was 1 man left on base through 3 full out of 7 here at Monon Park. It's UMass Boston 11, Salve Regina nothing.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Welcome back for the start of the fourth inning. Fernando Burgos back out on the mound. He has been electric through three. He's allowed just 3 base runners, a single, a walk, and a fielder's choice. Nobody's gotten beyond first base. So we take a look around the LAC. Coast Guard with the win earlier against Castleton. Endicott, who I accidentally mentioned earlier, they've got the lead on UMass Dartmouth, and Wheaton College all over Eastern Connecticut in the third.
Leading off for Salve Regina in the top of the fourth inning, the right.
Stepping in will be Zach Smith as the big bats come up 3, 4, 5 for the Seahawks. Smith, Betts, and Tristan Dacey. The pitch. Cracked into left field. Looking back, turning around, it's off the wall. McCormick has it on the hop, fires into second. Throw's not going to be in time. It's a leadoff double for Zach Smith.
The first baseman, number 6, Jack Betts.
Now Jack Betts will step in. He is 0 for 1. He grounded out back to the pitcher to end the first. Burgos looks in. Kicks in, delivers. Outside ball 1. Take another look back at that double. And there's certain parts on that wall, because some of it's padding, some of it's mesh. You obviously have the scoreboard. The ball will bounce off it different ways. The 1-0. In there for a strike that evens the count up at 1-1. Surprisingly, what we've not seen a lot of today are strikeouts. Burgos with 2. Ginsburg had none. Hertwig picked up the first of the game for Salve in the last inning. That's hit into the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. That's going to be a run. Oh, no, it's not. Holding at third is Smith. Looked off the bat like he had a good jump on it. You know, they call it scoring position for a reason, but Smith just up to third. No outs, runners on the corners for Tristan Dacey. Dacey will step in, hitting left-handed. He struck out to start the second inning. Comes to the set, kicks and delivers. Scoots out of the way of ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Feel the press box shaking now. Burgos delivers the 1-1. Chopped back to the mound. Only play is going to be at first. Burgos goes there and it gets away from Boudrias. Roan's going to score. Betts goes all the way from first to third.
The center fielder, number 9, Michael Delfusco.
And it makes it 1-0. Take another look at that one as they go out to the mound to talk to Burgos. And you see the runner at third. He was not going to go until that throw got away. So he scores on the error. No RBI for Dacey. Burgos is going to stay in the game. There is some stirring, though, it looks like, in the Beacons bullpen. Delfusco grounded out to second, and his only other at-bat of the game. That was back in the second inning. Breaking ball, strike one. If you're Burgos, you don't have to worry too much. Nice cushion to work with. That one misses low for a ball. The 1-1. Inside, ball 2. Grounded foul. Evens the count up to a side. Runners on first and third. It's Betts on third, Dacey on first. Burgos working on Michael Delfusco. Colton Ironman waiting on deck. Still nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Salve Regina has gotten on the board. Thanks to an error by the Beacons, they trail 11-1. This one's rocked back into center field, but it's there for Brown. He makes the catch. Run's going to tag. The throw home will be cut off at the mound. Salve adds another. You can make it 11-2.
The third baseman, number 2.
So here's Colton Ironman. Ironman grounded out back to the pitcher to end the second inning. The pitch. Strike one.
He would have scored on the sac fly, so that run that initially scored on the E1 now becomes earned.
Burgos sets. And he hit him. And it looked like that got Ironman right in the hip as he doubles over. Well, they talked to him. Let's take another look at that sac fly.
The second baseman is number 3, Anthony Ciesco.
And you see the throw. That was going to be a tough one to get him. Regardless, Ciesco digs in. He's pinch hitting for Zach Barlock. Or not pinch hitting, pardon me. He came in for Zach Barlock in the bottom of the third, so he's hitting in Barlock's spot. Here, Barlock had walked in his only plate appearance. So runners on first and second. The pitch. Strike one. Here's the 0-1. Outside for a ball, backhanded by Kides. Heavier clouds have rolled in. It's gotten significantly darker. They've turned the lights on here at Monin Park. Wind still shaking the press box, now blowing out to dead center. Here's the pitch. It gets away from Kites. That's going to move the runners up. With just one out, that takes away the conventional double play.
No, the guy on third will be earned, sure, yeah. The second run is definitely unearned. The first run is earned. 8 after 7. That's one for LSU play.
Burgos delivers. Fouled back off the parking garage. Count goes to 2-2. He needs a strikeout here. Or something popped up in the infield, but given the conditions today, I don't think you want to pop up. I don't think you even want to risk your luck with that. See if he goes breaking ball. Low and inside. That's been his most effective pitch so far today. Time is called. Burgos sets, kicks and deals, breaking ball low, too low, and the count is full. Three-two the pitch. Grounded under the glove of Burgos. It hops off Leung's glove into center field. Run's going to try to score from second. Burgos cuts it off. And now Salve putting up a big inning of their own. Dacey scores from third. Ironman scores from second. And those both score on the error, I believe. No error. So a base hit, 2 RBI base hit for Ciesco. Still just one out, runner at first. And it's a monumental lead UMass Boston built up, but Salve certainly chipping into it. Let's take another look. Burgos didn't have much of a play on it. That's why Leung, given some of the plays he made earlier in the game, you think maybe he gets a chance to stop that one. You also see there, Ironman almost missed the plate. He had to grab it with his back foot coming by. Outside for a ball. The 1-0. That is rocked by the first base bag into right field. Trying to go first to third is Ciesco. He is in there sliding head first. Cecere has a base hit. And it's runners on the corners again with just one out. Top of the order coming up in Madden Ward.
For the shortstop, number 10, Madden Ward.
Burgos sets and delivers. Strike one. Ward is 1 for 2. He singled to lead off the game and then lined out to second. Checks back to first. Healthy leadoff third for Ciesco with that throw over to first. 0-1 the count. The pitch. Strike two. Burgos looks in with an 0-2 count. Grounded by the pitcher's glove. Leung knocks it down again. The throw to first is in time, so they get one. But the run will score.
The catcher, number 14.
Cecere moves up to second.
That run is under him because it should be out of the inning by now.
And here's Dylan Ketch. So in the bottom of the second, UMass Boston batted around. Now here in the top of the fourth, Salve has batted around. Ketch is the ninth hitter of the inning. He's 0 for 2. He has flown out to center and flown out to right. And he fouls this one back into the netting. Take another look at that fielder's choice that scored the run. Burgos delivers. Grounder to first. Boudrias going to take care of it himself. And that will do it. But the Seahawks get 5 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error. And they do leave 1 stranded through 3.5. Seahawks bats have woken up. It's UMass Boston 11, Salve Regina 5 on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
What do we mean when we say UMass is here for a reason? We mean that the 5-campus UMass system is the only public research university that the people of Massachusetts established to create better futures for themselves, but also for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts as a whole. It's a university that educates 73,000 students every day and graduates 17,000 graduates every year. We are the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We're one of the state's 3 major academic research engines: research that saves and improves people's lives, and research that drives the innovation economy of Massachusetts. We provide services and economic opportunity to every region of the Commonwealth. The noted historian David McCullough once said that 2 great concepts, university and Massachusetts, come together in only one place, and we are very aware of how fortunate we are to bear the name, the University of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Ryan McCormick will lead things off as Tyler Hertzwig comes out for his second inning of work. Allowed 1 run on 2 hits in his first inning in the third. Beacon's trying to respond to a 5-run inning put up by the Seahawks in the top half of the fourth. Although they still have a comfortable lead at 11-5 as this one's low for a ball. Count now 2-0 on McCormick, who is 1 for 1. He's singled and walked. He has scored. He has driven in a run. The pitch. Chopped foul. The pitch. Grounded foul down the first base side. That ball had some impressive topspin. It was rolling, but just missed the bag. Grounded to second. CS go to first. And there's one down. Here's Nico Kites, the catcher. Reached on there and scored in the second.
The catcher, number 13, Nico Kites.
Kites digs in from the right side against the lefty Hertzwig. The pitch. Strike one. The 0-1. Outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Dark clouds still moving in. No rain yet. Supposed to hold off for at least another hour. Low ball 2, 2-1. The pitch. Popped foul, first base side, and it falls in play, but away from Betts, who was the closest. Came all the way from first to chase that one down. Hertzwig sets. Here comes the 2-2. Strike three. Got him looking. Late call from Dan Henry. And there's two down. This is where the Beacons have been their most dangerous with 2 outs. Five of their 11 runs have come with 2 outs. They've scored in every inning, so in danger of snapping that streak here in the 4th. It's up to Danny Brown to continue things. He has doubled twice. Both of those were in the 2nd inning. He's scored both times. He's driven in 1. This one is hit into center field. Coming in Del Fusco. He gets there with the lunging catch. To retire the side, the Beacons retired 1, 2, 3 for the first time today through 4 innings. It is UMass Boston 11, Salve Regina 5. You're watching UMass Boston Baseball on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
Zach Smith will lead things off, for the Seahawks here in the 5th inning. They just battled around. They scored 5 in the 4th. He got that started with a double. And leading off for the 2nd inning in a row, he takes ball 1. Burgo's back out on the mound. He cruised through 3. Like I mentioned, some difficulty in the 4th. They're going to roll with him. Breaking ball cuts back inside for a strike. Nasty, nasty pitch. This one's hit into left center field. Coming over is Brown. He leaps. He knocks the ball down into the wall. And it's going to end up being a double for Smith. Smith, for all intents and purposes, could have just played that ball off the wall. It's impressive he even got to it. Take another look. We will after this as Betts steps in. He is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the fourth. And it looks like they took the flags down in center field. So, now as you see the replay there, we're not going to be able to tell which direction the wind is blowing, at least not easily, going forward. It's in there for a strike. You know the wind's bad when they have to just take the flags off the pole. The 0-2. Just missed. Hit to third, looks through on her back. Riley across the diamond to first, and Boudrias can't scoop it. It will go as an error on Riley. And once again, runners on the corners with nobody out. Or pardon me, runners on first and second as Smith stayed at second base following the error. That one is chopped down the first base line. Boudrias going to take it himself, one down. Both runners advance, so it will be second and third with one out. With Del Fusco coming up. Del Fusco is 0 for 1. He does have an RBI sacrifice fly. Scoots out of the way of ball one. Swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. Swing and a miss again, strike two. Burgos quickly ahead. This one's popped in a right field. Coming in and making the catch is Herzog. Runner is going to tag. The throw to third is bobbled by Riley, so the run scores. Betts up to third, and Zach Smith scores his second run of the game. There are now two down for Colton Ironman. Burgos delivers ball one. Another look at the sacrifice fly. And a good throw and a heads-up play by Herzog to go to third, knowing he probably didn't have the play at the plate, but could have ended the inning if he got Betts at third. This one scoots away. Will it be another run? Cuddy's to the plate. Just missed him. Burgos can't believe it. And that was awfully, awfully close. Just like that, it's a 4-run ball game. Take another look. Let's see. Might have gotten that left hand in there first. Count is 2-0 to Ironman. Here's the pitch. Into right field, and Herzog is there to retire the side, but Salve gets 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error, and they left nobody on base through 4 1/2. The lead is shrinking. UMass Boston 11, Salve 7 on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
We graduate 17,000 students every year, and the vast majority of them stay in Massachusetts. We have over 280,000 graduates in Massachusetts today. We graduate people in critical fields, engineering, STEM fields. We graduate people with research experience where they can start their own companies. It is amazing to see what UMass graduates accomplish once they leave the university. I remember vividly my own graduation from UMass. It was a beautiful day. It was perfect weather. I remember the pride that my mother and father felt. I could see it in their eyes. Here it is, 30 years later, I get an opportunity to preside over UMass commencement. It is so moving and inspiring for me to think this is what it's for. Here we are, we have these graduates that we're going to unleash on the world, ready to take on the world, happy about the accomplishment, but also hopeful about the future. It's hard not to get emotional at a UMass graduation. You see that UMass is here for the Commonwealth, here for a reason.
Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th. Beacon's got to get the bats going after being retired 1-2-3 last inning. Salve's coming up quick in the rear view mirror.
Leading off the Beacons in the bottom of the 5th inning.
As leading off will be Ryan Leung, will be Leung, Hugie, and then Riley if anybody reaches Boudrias. The pitch from Hertzwig is in there for a strike. The 0-1 misses away. Thrown down to first in time. Now we'll bring up Charlie Hugie. He is doubled and scored. He's 1 for 2.
The shortstop, number 29, Charlie Hugie.
On 1 the count to Hugie. The count evens up at 1-1. Down the first base line and out of play. The pitch. Popped it up. Coming over from second base and making the catch is Ciesco, and there's 2 down. And here's Eddie Riley. Riley is 1 for 3, tripled had an RBI and scored in the second. He can start their 4th time through the lineup here. Leading 11-7 in the bottom of the 5th in what is a 7-inning game, the first of 2 to be played here today. This is fouled back as Sun actually starting to come back out a little bit. We're told that the rain was supposed to hit around 2. It was getting pretty dark, but perhaps the cloud's starting to move out. That is a base hit into left field. Could be 2 as that ball skips to the wall. The throw in is not going to be in time. It's a 2-out double for Eddie Riley.
The first baseman, number 15, Kyle Boudrias.
Here is Kyle Boudrias. First pitch is low and away for a ball. That's in there for a strike. The count goes to 1-1. Looks back to second, now comes to the plate. Pumped up behind the first base bag. This is going to give him trouble coming out from second base is Cecere. He can't get there with 2 outs. Riley he is going to score. And it's an RBI single for Kyle Boudrias. His third hit, his second RBI of the day. Take another look. And the next pitch we will actually as Nick Herzog steps in. Herzog is yet to be retired. He's reached base 3 times. He's scored twice. He's driven in 1. He's reached base 3 times in 3 different ways. As this one gets away from the catcher, heading to second, sliding in safely is Boudrias. Let's take another look at that base hit. And this is like what we were seeing early in the game. We haven't seen as many of them later. Pitchers, it seems like, have been making an effort to keep the ball down, but Cecere just got 2 turned around out there. Herzog steps out now, steps back in. The 1-0 misses for a ball. The 2-0 pitch. Low ball 3. See if they give Herzog the green light here. They do not. It's ball 4 outside, and the Beacons have 2 on with 2 outs. Again, 2 out hitting for the Beacons. Proves to be key. First 2 players reached. First 2 players were retired relatively easily, but then a double by Riley, a single by Boudrias, and Herzog walks. And here's Anthony Cecere. He's 1 for 3 with the 2-run home run. The Beacons had scored 11 in a row to start the game. Salve then scored 7 straight thanks to a 5-run 4th. And now the Beacons back in the run column here. The only inning they've been held scoreless is the 4th. 2 in the 1st, 8 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, none in the 4th, and 1 in counting. So far here in the 5th, the count is 2-0 to Cecere. Runners on first and second. It's Boudrias and Herzog. Here's the pitch. And it gets the upper outside corner for a strike. 12 runs on 12 hits, 2 errors for the Beacons, 7 runs on 6 hits, 4 errors committed by the Seahawks. Long look to second. Now comes to the plate. The 2-1 is in there for a strike. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike three. He got him in the side. Is retired, but the Beacons get one more run on 2 hits. There were no errors in the inning. They leave 2 stranded. 5 innings in the books. UMass Boston 12. Salve Regina 7 on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
Your game number 1 of our schedule.
We want to do theater that is responsible. We want to do music that is evocative and like elevates us. We want to do dance that reflects urban movement and connection. I've been a practicing designer for the last 30 years. My specialty is costumes. This space is fantastic. This is our recital hall, and it's so outstanding that many people compare it to the symphony hall because the quality of sound is like nothing in town. And there is the painting studio, the sculpture studio, the digital studio. The type of students that we're getting, they're more competitive. They're looking for this kind of facilities. They look at other private colleges, but then decide to come here. Boston is filled with regional theaters, so our students can actually apply what they're learning and build a portfolio. And it's so great to see their names on the programs, and people may not know they're from UMass Boston, but eventually as they graduate and they begin to get professional jobs and you see their bios, that's going to be UMass Boston. It's going to be the stamp all over. UMass Boston represents what true liberal arts is about. In my class, you have students who are psychologists, business, chemistry. The final goal is that we have well-rounded global citizens graduating from UMass Boston.
Mike Doherty is the new pitcher for the Beacons. 1-0 with a 4.32 ERA. He is making his 5th appearance all out of the bullpen. He does have a save in 8 1/3 innings. He's allowed 9 hits, 4 runs. All of them earned, struck out 11, and walked just 4. It is starting to rain a little bit here. A bit ahead of schedule. I don't know if this is actually, look at the radar here. Be a professional. Might as well. As Anthony Ciesco will lead off. He is 1 for 1. He singled, drove in 2 in the 4th. He would come around to score. And pitches in there for a strike. It looks like this is just a quick passing drizzle. The big stuff is still out over Western Mass, so we do have some time. This should be in and out, looks like, in about 10 minutes. Light rain, it's not going to affect much. The 0-1. And there for a strike. Question is, though, is when will the big stuff get here? Right now it's looking like right around 3:30, so it's actually been pushed back. If they can get this one wrapped up quickly, perhaps there's a chance we get out of here without any major rain during play, as it's popped up to second for the first out of the inning.
The left fielder, number 11, Dustin Cicada.
Dustin Cicada will step in. He is 1 for 2. They base hit back in the 3rd. First pitch. High ball 1. Swings through with a foul tip. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Already looks in, kicks in, delivers, fouled back. Count will go to 1 and 2. The 1-2 pitch. Misses for ball. The final line for Burgos in 5 innings. He allowed 7 runs, 4 of them earned. Struck out 2 and walked 1. And he's still in line for the win. He threw 81 pitches. The 2-2 from Doherty. Grounder to third. Riley to his knees. He has it. Fires to first. And there's 2 down. That will bring up the top of the order. 4th time through for the Seahawks. Madden Ward. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI. The pitch. Grounded over the glove of Riley, under the glove of Hughie into left field for Ward's 2nd hit of the game. That'll bring up the catcher, the captain, Dylan Ketch. Ketch is 0 for 3. Flew out to center, flew out to right, and grounded out to first. Doherty comes set. Here's the pitch. And he starts him off with a strike. Just shy of the top of the 1 o'clock hour here in Boston. 11 a.m. start, moved up due to rain. Also, both games 7 innings instead of 9. The pitch. Hit into right field. Herzog has a beat on it, fading over, and he makes the catch to retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. There was 1 man left on base. Last chance for the Beacons to add some insurance here. We head to the bottom of the 6th with UMass Boston leading 12-7 on the Beacon Broadcast Network. Taking a look around Beaconville today, what's coming up around Beaconville. Softball will be down at UMass Dartmouth for a doubleheader on Tuesday. Enjoy that bus ride to the softball players here helping work the game today. Men's tennis will be at Salem State on Tuesday as well. You've got a new pitcher for Salve.
Bring up camera 4 and let us know what number.
I think that this is number 6. I think it's Jack Betts, the first baseman. No, it's number 18. I was going by the hair. They both have the same hair. This is Kyle Brown. Brown so far this year. Has appeared in 2 games, not allowed a run, does not have a decision, 1 2/3 allowed, 1 hit. Walked 1, struck 1 out. So the freshman the junior from Point Lookout, New York, not had much of a chance to show his stuff this year. We'll see what he can do with this one. He'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Beacons. Ryan McCormick, Nico Kides, and Danny Brown. If anybody reaches Ryan Leung. McCormick is 1 for 2. He has scored and he has driven in a run. Brown sets and delivers. And the first pitch misses for a ball. The pitch. Ball 2. Inside, dodging out of the way as McCormick. Count goes to 3-0. Brown having a little trouble finding his spots early. The pitch. Ball 4. He walked him on 4 pitches. So Kyle Brown comes in and issues an instant free pass. See how the Beacons respond. Kides waiting to step in here. And we have a pinch hitter. Nick Cotraro.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for Nico Kides, number 19, Nick Cotraro.
And Nick Cotraro, a junior from Beverly, Massachusetts. And the first pitch misses for a ball. Cotraro this year hitting .222. He's not yet driven in a run. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Showing bunt again, pulls it back again. That time it's a strike. So Brown, 6 pitches in, finally finds the strike zone. Hit into left field, and I'll hang up. Easily played by Cecere. And there's one down. Here is Danny Brown, the center fielder. Doubled and scored back in the second. Actually, doubled and scored twice in the second. He also drove a run in. This is the part of the lineup that batted twice in that second inning, Brown and Leung. Outside for a ball. Checks over to first, and back in time is McCormick. Hit into shallow right field. That ball is going to fall for a base hit. McCormick had to hold up to see if it was caught, so he only gets to second. And it's a base hit for Brown. Here's Ryan Leung. Leung is 1 for 3. He singled, drove in a run back in that second inning. Actually, end of the second inning, he tried to stretch that single into a double and was thrown out at second. And Leung running back to the dugout. Are they going to pinch hit for him here? It looks like that will be the case. And I believe 27, it looks like. Nick Palma is going to pinch hit. So Palma comes in. This is the 13th game he's played in this year. He started just one, hitting a .182. And that's going to prompt a meeting on the mound. To take a look at the line score here, it's been a wild ride. Beacosn put 11 on the board in the first 3 innings unanswered. Salve then put up 7 unanswered between the 4th and 5th. And the Beacosn got 1 in the 6th. There's going to be a pitching change, so we'll keep it here. We'll take a look at the Beacosn upcoming schedule after this doubleheader. They will be at Endicott on, that is Tuesday, I believe, right? The 2nd? Yep. And then quickly back home to play Mitchell College, an evening game here at Monon before next weekend, taking on Plymouth State. And we will step aside here. New pitcher coming in. It's the Beacosn up 12-7 for Monon Park.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Jacob Simon is the new pitcher for the Seahawks. He's appeared in 3 games, made 1 start, ERA over 10. In 4 innings, he's allowed 5 runs, all of them earned. And he will face Nick Palma to get things started. Beacon's trying to add some insurance before they close this thing out. And here comes to Palma.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for Ryan Leung, number 27, Nick Palma.
That one is fouled back. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. And that one is lined foul. Looks back to second, and time is called. Here's the 1-2. There for a ball, and they got him in a pickle here. Runner's going to move up to third. And they end up moving both runners over with no outs. They did. The 2-2. That skips by for a ball. A run's going to score. Up to third comes Brown. And the Beacons add another one on. 13-7. The pitch. Skips by for a ball. Ball 4. And Palma goes down to first. So here's Charlie Hughey for his fourth at-bat of the day. He is 1 for 3. Doubled and scored back in the second.
Pitch runner at first base, number 4, Collins. Stay to play second.
And we got a pinch runner at first for Palma. That will be Ryan Collins.
Ryan Collins. Now batting for the Beacons, the shortstop, number 29, Charlie Hughey.
Here's the pitch. Showing bunt, pulls it back. Throw down to first, not in time. Ball 1. Not in time back at first. Back in time again. Still 1-0 on Hughey. Beacons lead 13-7. We're only playing 7 innings, so next ups will be perhaps the last ups for the Seahawks. They'll send up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Smith, Betts, and Dacey. Sets, kicks, and delivers. That one misses for a ball. They check to first, nobody there. Here's the pitch. 3-0 now to Hughey. As Simon is having trouble finding the strike zone after Brown couldn't. Gets one in there. It's 3-1. Kicks and delivers. Just gets the outside part for a strike. The count goes full. Checks over to first, not in time. Here's the set and the pitch. Line back up the middle. That's going to get down. That's going to be another run. Charlie Hughie picks up the RBI single. And the Beacons bats are not done just yet.
The third baseman, number 3, Eddie Riley.
And he hit him. That's going to load the bases. And again, the rain has started coming down a little bit more, so that ball may be getting tough to grip.
The first baseman, number 15, Kyle Boudrias.
Boudrias steps in. He has gotten a hit 3 of his last 4 at-bats. He's 3 for 4. 2 singles and a double. He's driven in 2. He scored twice. And that first pitch is high for a ball. Simon comes set, kicks and delivers. Chopped foul. Still just 1 out. McCormick led off with a walk. He has since scored. Cotrero then flew out. Danny Brown then singled. Nick Palma drew a walk. Charlie Hughie singled. And then Eddie Riley was hit by the pitch. Here's the 1-1. It's off the glove of the pitcher, off the glove of the shortstop. Ward might have had a chance. Simon certainly would have. Why are we going to score that? Hit. That's going to be hitting an RBI for Kyle Boudrias, his 3rd. And that makes it 15-7. So we talked about it at the top of the show last time these two teams played. If I can find my notes here. Last time these teams played, the final score was 17-6. And a similar result here today. Herzog has reached 4 times. He's walked twice. He reached on an error. He has 1 RBI. His 2 runs scored, filling up the stat sheet. And he pops this one up a mile high. Ciesco fading back. He can't get there. That's going to score another run. The throw to second gets away. And an RBI single for Herzog. And the Beacons have battled around for the 2nd time in this ballgame. 4 runs here in the 6th, and I think what Endicott wants to know is why was that not an infield fly? They probably have a legitimate argument there, but it is solely the official's discretion. There is no, finite infield fly definition. And they're going to talk it over. The officials out by second base. And they are going to apply the infield fly. And move everybody back. So they are still going to count the run, I believe. No, they're bringing everybody back, so They're going to bring Hughie back out of the dugout. Send Riley back to second. Send Boudrias back to first. And Herzog is out. Here's Anthony Cecere. He is 1 for 4, but he got all this scoring started with a 2-run home run in the first. Let's bring it back to 15-7. Chopper up the middle. Gloved by the shortstop. Ward coming way over. And the throw is in time to get him. But the Beacons bat around in the 6th. They put 5 more on the board thanks to 3 hits. There were no errors, and the Beacons leave them loaded. All right, as we make the turn for home, Beacon's trying to close it out. 3 outs away. They lead 15-7 on the Beacon Broadcast Network.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Leading off for Salve Regina, the top of the 7th inning, the right fielder, number 22, Zach.
Top of the 7th. The Seahawks need at least 10 to extend it. Zach Smith, Jack Betts, and Tristan Dacey will face, Mike Doherty. Doherty has allowed 1 hit through 1 inning so far. Had an efficient 6th. We'll see what he does here in the 7th. After the rain, the sun's starting to poke back out again a little bit. Here's the 1-1. Up and away for a ball. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here's the pitch. fouled off the hands. Looks like he knocked it off his foot. And we will stay at 2-2. The pitch. Outside for a ball. The count goes full. The pitch. Grounded foul down the third base line. Here's the 3-2. Cracked into center field, going back. Brown looking up, turning around. That ball is gone to dead center field. Zach Smith leaves the ballpark. Make it 15-8. That is Smith's third run scored of the game. He was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. He had scored twice.
The first baseman, number 6, Jack.
And you can't say Salve didn't bring it offensively today. Here's Jack Betts. He has singled. He scored twice. Betts sets, kicks. Doherty kicks and delivers. And that's in there for a strike. Here's the pitch. Misses for a ball. It's 1-1. To the plate. So away ball 2.
Is this the same guy?
2-1 is hit first base side. Ducking. That is a fair ball. It gets down on the line. They are going to hold Betts to a single, however. But it's back-to-back hits for Salve here to start the 7th.
The designated hitter, number 43, Tristan Dacey.
Doherty looks to first, sets and delivers. And that one skips in for a ball. Doherty looks to first. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Inside ball 2, tracked down by McCormick. Forgot to mention those defensive changes. Sorry, Collins had come in to pinch hit. He goes to second. Contraro moves out to left, and McCormick comes in from left. He's now behind the plate. And warming up in the bullpen, the Beacons closer, Bobby Tramandozzi. I'm sure they'd like to avoid using him in this game, but that may not be an option. This is sailed out to right. That ball is well gone. Speaking of the Beacon's bullpen, that ball is over it. A 2-run home run for Tristan Dacey. And just like that, it's 15-10. Home run, single, home run.
The center fielder, number 9, Mike.
So with still nobody out, here's Del Fusco. And they are going to come out and talk to Doherty. Gives us a chance taking a look at that home run. That ball was just absolutely mashed. And that is going to be it for Mike Doherty. Here comes Bobby Tramondosi to try to close things out. Beacons now lead by 5 in the 7th inning. We'll be right back.
I came from a working class family. I grew up in a hard-edged section of Lowell, Massachusetts, and I lived with my 6 siblings and my parents in a 4-bedroom house that had 1 bathroom. I knew that the only way that I was going to get to where I wanted to get to was if I got a high-quality college education, and I had the University of Massachusetts right in my hometown. It made a difference. I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I think with that comes a special responsibility as a steward, as a protector. Every student that I see that walks through the door, I mean, I see myself. I was exactly where they are now. I had their same challenges, their same aspirations, their same dreams. And it makes me want to fight for them. It makes me want to make sure that they get every opportunity that I got. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
Bobby Tramondosi is the new pitcher for the UMass Boston Beacons. Tramondosi making his 9th appearance. He is 0-1 with a 1.69 ERA, 4 saves on the season, and 10 2/3 innings. He has 5 hits, 2 runs. They're both earned. He struck out 13, walked just 2, and the Beacons need him to settle things down. A game that has been a blowout for the most part. Suddenly getting a little bit closer with a home run, single home run to start off this 7th inning for the Seahawks. And again, we are only playing 7 innings today, so this is the last 3 outs potentially for Salve. That is why Tramondosi is coming in here in the 7th. Sets in, delivers. And the first pitch is in there for a strike. The 0-1. Fouled back. Here's the 0-2. Hit into left center field. Coming over is Brown. He gets there in time, went away. Now bring up Colton Ironman. Ironman reached once. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th. He would come around to score.
The third baseman, number 2, Colton Aremian.
The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1 is outside. Ball 1. Count evens up. Tramondosi winds and fires. That's in there for a strike. It's 1-2. The pitch. Skips away for a ball. Pops this one up. Second baseman Collins now fading back, and he can't get there. It's going to be a base hit for Ironman, another one of those wind-aided singles we've seen so many of today, and we will, I'm sure, see more of in Game 2 as we have a pinch hitter for Salve. It's 48, who is Brett McAllister. Listed as 47 and is listed as the highest number on the roster, but it is the freshman from Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Your attention, please.
Runner on first, one out.
Number 48, Brett McAllister.
The pitch. Twists out of the way of ball one. Ball two misses inside as well. The pitch. 3-0 the count. Tramontosi sets, kicks, and delivers. That's in there for a strike. Line back up the middle, a base hit. Going first to third is Ironman. He's in standing, and it's runners on the corners. And the Seahawks not quite ready to go away just yet. And they will bring a pinch runner out for McAllister. That's going to be Zach Lopez.
Your attention, please. Now pinch running at first base for McAllister, number 20, Zach Lopez.
So it's Ironman at third, Lopez at first. And stepping in will be Dustin Cicada. Cicada is 1 for 2. He's reached on a single and a fielder's choice. Sets, kicks, and delivers. Strike one. Trey Mendoza could really use a ball hit on the ground here to end things. It's been quite the offensive day so far. We're just one game in. 15 runs on 15 hits with 2 errors for UMass Boston. 10 runs on 12 hits with 4 errors committed by the Seahawks as this is fouled back. Salve out of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. They got off to a hot start in conference play, 3-1. The pitch outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. The 1-2, got him, strike 3. I don't think he went around. I believe that's going to go down as a strikeout looking.
The shortstop, number
And now the Seahawks down to their final out. Back to the top of the order, 5th time through, Madden Ward. The pitch. Strike 1. Checks to first, comes to the set, kicks and delivers. Ball one. The 1-1. Fouled straight down. Tramandosi, the 1-2. Fouled down the first base line. You have to assume for Bobby, this is an interesting situation for him. He probably didn't expect to come into this game. It was 11-0 at one point. Even coming into this inning, it was 17-5, or pardon me, 15-7, and then to have to get up, get ready, and come in. It probably all happened very quickly for him. The 1-2. Popped up first base side. Will it stay in play? Coming over is Boudrias. He can't make the catch. Twisted on him at the last second. One, two again. Tramandosi peers in, checks to first. Sets and throws. Outside for a ball. Maybe a bit of a pitch out as McCormick instantly looking down to first. The 2-2. Chopped foul, third base side. Ironman stuck his hand out to grab that. Probably not a great idea. I think backhanding that baseball flying down the line like that would break a couple bones in your hand. The 2-2. Outside for a ball. Two and a half hours in. Tramandosi trying to close the door. The payoff pitch. He struck him out, and that is the ball game. The Beacons pick up the winning game one of our doubleheader by a final score of 15-10. Taking a look at how it broke down. 10 runs on 12 hits, 4 errors by Salve. 15 runs on 15 hits with 2 errors for UMass Boston. We are scheduled to play another 7 innings. That will start in approximately 20 to 30 minutes, so we hope you'll stick around. And I think that's all we have for post-game for Game 1, right? All right, so we're going to step aside. We'll be back in about 20 minutes. We'll see you then for Game 2 between the Beacons and the Seahawks. I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.